How's it going, guys? My name is Tavarish, and today... So if you guys are new to the channel, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoy it. This is a little bit of a different episode. I have a friend today.
I'm Sean with EMF Audio.
Yeah, he's Sean with EMF Audio. And the reason why Sean is here is because all this stuff is getting installed in that car. That's my 2003 Lamborghini Murcielago, and it was the movie car from Fast and the Furious 8, or Fate of the Furious, or okay, anyway. This is what Sean does. He does all this sort of audio stuff. He installs audio. He even makes audio components.
Correct. What we've got here, I've got these 6.5s. I also make subwoofers. We've got 4 different lines there, and 1 amplifier that's very, very, very large. That, unfortunately, will not work for this application. It's a little bit too much. So I've got some sundown audio stuff, and these are also available on our website, emfcaraudio.com.
The reason why we're doing this, and a lot of people are going to wonder why we're putting in car audio on a car that really needs a lot more stuff than just audio. The reason why is because this car doesn't actually have any audio in it at all right now. The speakers are gone. The stock radio had a code that needed to be put in, and that wasn't getting done. And this radio is really old, and I wanted to do something that made the car as loud as it looks. But we're actually gonna make the box specifically for this car.
Yes, I have a custom stereo that's building the enclosure specifically for this vehicle.
So you guys will be along every step of the way, but before we do that, I wanna go over, I just want a rundown of everything we have on this table.
Okay, well, let's start with the battery. So currently we have a dead battery in the car. So we're gonna put the best battery we can put in there, which is going to be from Excess Power. We need everything that we can get to this amplifier, which is the Sundown Audio SAX 200.4. It's 200 watts by 4 channels.
Yeah.
We're going to use the front channels on the 6.5s.
So there's only going to be front speakers in this car. There are no other speakers, basically. It's just the front.
For the mid-range, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The rear channels are going to power the subwoofer.
This... should it? Okay, yeah, it's pretty heavy. That's good. Okay.
So this is a Sundown Audio SD3 10-inch. It is shallow, which is exactly what we need in this application. It is intended to be used in a sealed box, which is all we have room for. We have clearance in front of it because the surround doesn't protrude.
Yeah.
So we have the seat that goes right in front of it. This is perfect for this application.
And I can also put a grill on it if I want to do that in the future.
Correct. So on this amplifier, we have high-pass crossovers, low-pass crossovers, subsonic filters. This is the perfect thing for this application, especially with its size.
Yeah.
So this amp actually has 4-gauge inputs for power. We have a 1/0 gauge wiring kit.
4-gauge wire and 1/0 gauge wire. That just means the thickness of the wire. The lower number you go, the thicker the wire is, correct?
Correct. And the larger the wire you have, the more current you can carry through the wire. So you have to have an appropriate sized wire.
Yeah. Otherwise, the wire is going to get hot and then it burns your car down, which we definitely don't want.
Unless you have an appropriate fuse. The fuse goes on the wire, which if you have the appropriate fuse for the appropriate wire, you shouldn't burn your car down.
I feel like a lot of these cars shouldn't have burned down, but they did anyway, so.
That is true. We have the 16-gauge speaker wire for the mid-range. This is OFC, this is oxygen-free copper. The best wire you can get for clarity.
Yeah.
The wire doesn't get hot as you put power through it like aluminum can do.
Right.
And it is silver tin, so it's guaranteed that we are not going to have a problem with corrosion or oxidation.
These speakers are actually your speakers. You make these, right?
I do make these speakers. I designed these speakers with the intent of being able to use in a car, on a boat, and a motorcycle, an ATV. They're weather resistant. We have a carbon fiber cone. This is actual real carbon fiber.
That is awesome. I mean, that perfectly goes with this. This is it's a whole carbon fiber build, carbon fiber speakers.
We've got a titanium dome tweeter. Everything is sealed so you can have weather on it. So if you leave a door open at a show, it starts to rain, you don't have to worry about these speakers.
Awesome. What about this? The RCA cables. Is there anything special about these guys?
There is. So these also use OFC wire in them. So we have the best possible wire you can have in it.
Right.
It's a twisted pair to reject any kind of noise.
Okay.
The insulation, very, very presentable, makes for a great installation. And these tips are actually custom tooled. There is not another set of RCAs outside of Sundown that have these on it. They're designed so they can fit very firm on the amplifier.
Yeah.
So they won't slide out or anything like that. But also, if you want them to come off, they won't pull the terminal out like I've seen on ones that are way too tight.
Cool. We could possibly use this Harman Kardon head unit It came stock with the car. I think the car had some upgraded audio, but when I turned the car on, it had like a, enter code here for security. I don't know what that code was, so we just ripped that out. And I got this Alpine head unit, and it was literally just the cheapest one that I could get on Amazon. I think it's like 70 bucks, but it's a Bluetooth head unit, and it doesn't have a CD player. Who uses CDs anyway? This fits the Lamborghini vibe because Lamborghini and Alpine have been working together for a long time. Plus, it's kind of sleek and cool looking, and I can connect my phone to it. So I think this should be pretty good for our purposes.
So this head unit has 3 sets of RCA outputs: front, rear, and sub. The front we will be using, the rear we won't, because in this application we don't have rear speakers, but we do have the sub output which we will be using.
Right.
Now this amplifier does have a bass knob, which would be a separate cable. It goes to a knob, you can mount it anywhere in the car, and you can adjust the sub volume on here from there, but we want to retain that clean interior look.
Right.
We don't want the separate thing. So having the sub output, we can control it directly from the head unit.
Oh.
So you can adjust the volume of the sub itself without going up on the bass or anything like that, and adjust all your bass right on the head unit.
Awesome. So now that we got everything laid out here, we're gonna talk a little bit about how to cut the box, because all we have is some lumber that we got from Home Depot, and we're just gonna cut it using some regular wood tools and just some good old-fashioned elbow grease.
Yeah, we've got a circular saw, a straight edge, and that's all you need to build a basic box. You don't have to have a table saw or anything like that.
Yeah.
You can do it with simple tools you may already have.
Let's get to that.
Details will be given about what to do, when to do it, and how. Listen to your radio.
All right, so sit rep, we have a little bit of an issue. So this is the piece we cut. That's the backing piece for the sub box. Sean, what's the problem?
Inside the car, there's a little nub that comes out on the back wall. This will not clear it. So what we've done is we have taken this piece of cardboard, we've laid it on the back wall, and it pops out right here. So we've got to cut that out in the wood here to compensate for that spot on the back wall.
This is where the transmission housing lives, and it's actually the same on both sides. But I think there's enough room here that we can actually make something work, and we'll make it look kind of nice at the end. At least that's the idea. Okay, I made a template out of cardboard, and I transferred that to wood. So now it looks like that and that. Actually, this goes a little bit further in. That goes like that, and that should butt up against there. We'll figure something out for this little cove right here. But right now, we're gonna make the basic layout of the box. And we need some wood glue, and we need some nails. So let's go do that. What do you think, Sean?
Box stuff.
Box stuff.
Details will be given about what to do, when to do it, and how. Listen to your radio. details will be given about what to do, when to do it, and more.
This is your radio.
All right, everyone, that is a box. Well, most of one. So we cut the hole, we routed it, and what's this thing called that we did?
That would be a roundover bit.
Roundover bit. So we made it nice and rounded over. But right here is where the magic is going to happen. We're actually going to put some fiberglass here. We've already taped it off in the back and the inside. So all we have to do is lay a bunch of fiberglass on here. We have some fiberglass mat and some resin, and hopefully by tonight this should be nice and hard, and then we can put that in the car, and then we can put the subwoofer in and wire it up, and then we're gonna have some beats. Isn't that right?
That is right.
New engineering.
Okay, we're in the home stretch, and I know it doesn't really look like it, but bear with me, we are almost done. So I have the wheel off because apparently the only way to get to the battery is when you take the wheel off. This is the old battery. This is an old Optima that does not hold any voltage. You charge it for a day and it just dies in another day. So we got a new hotness battery. Look at this, XS Power. This is also an AGM battery, but this should be way better than this busted garbage. So we're gonna put this in, and we're also gonna run all our lines for, our power lines, the only power line for the amp. And we're gonna do that by going through, oh, you can't see anything in here. That's better. Okay, so you see I made a hole with a grommet, so the line's gonna go from there all the way up in here. And there's another hole right there. That is gonna lead to the trunk area. Fun fact, the ABS module has a bracket that's completely bent, and it's basically ripped from its mounting. So what I think happened is that when this clutch blew during filming, they didn't have any way to move the car. So what they did was they had to put a tow strap on here and pull the car using that bracket, and it screwed things up. Hopefully the ABS unit is okay. But that is actually not the worst of it, because if you look at this door, it's orange on one side, but on this side, it is silver. That side's yellow. Yellow was the original color of the car. Silver is not, so I don't know what happened to that door, but I don't know what happened to the harness. They just cut the harness at both ends, so I'm gonna have to rewire the harness. I thought that there was a problem with the window, why it wouldn't work, and I found out that the problem with the window is, these cut boys right here. All right, we are done. What time is it, dude?
Midnight 11.
So it's midnight, and we are finally done with the wiring and the running of, well, wires and everything. We got the new battery in, we got the amp in, we got the speakers in, we got the sub in, we got the box made, we got everything done, and I'm a little bit nervous about turning this thing on for the first time. Should I be nervous, Sean?
Absolutely not.
Okay, you should not be nervous. We needed to do a lot of stuff on this car that is not sort of normal for a regular install. Since I'm not the car install guy, I'm gonna let Sean kind of go through everything that we needed to do that was super hard on this.
Okay, so starting off with the battery. As we showed before, it is stuck way up in there behind the tire. So we had to get a fuse holder directly next to the battery because we do not want to have that going through any metal, any place it can short without a fuse in line. So it's about that far from the positive terminal, but we had to loop it because the positive terminal is up here and the negative is over here. So we had to run it this way, make the fuse holder accessible when we take the wheel off, of course. Make that wire come up here, come all the way up to a grommet right here.
Yeah.
Very important to use a grommet. You do not want it to short on metal. That wire now goes through the side over here along with the factory wiring. Very, very fortunate that we had enough room to do that in this car.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I like that Lamborghini thought of a audio install when they built this car.
Clearly that's what they were doing. So from there, we have to go up under the dash, wrap over, and then down by the clutch pedal, there was an opening where we could drill a hole. Through that hole, we have another grommet because we have metal.
Yes.
So 2 grommets we had to go through. That pops out way back down there. It comes out to where we can get power to the amp.
Yes.
We had to do a ground wire. Ground to the frame. Fortunately for us, we have an aluminum frame.
Yeah, it's not carbon fiber. The body panels are carbon fiber, but the frame itself is composed of aluminum and some parts steel.
We did have a bolt that we could tap onto. We cleaned all that up with a wire brush. Straight down to the metal. Connect that up. Maybe we have where it loops around where we have no stress connection. Goes over to the amp. There we have our power and ground to the amp. Turns on. Great. The remote wire, the RCAs, and the sub speaker wire all have to go to the back. So on this side, same kind of deal. Back on the wall down there.
Yeah.
We had to drill another big hole to get 2 sets of RCAs, 1 set of 12 gauge wire, and 1 remote wire all through that hole. But we still have the front door speaker wires. This is where it got interesting. To run these speaker wires, first you must remove the wheel.
We had to remove both wheels, and it was a complete nightmare. So not to remove the wheels, but to route all the wires.
So we take the wheel off, we take the inner wheel arch off, and then we had access to run wire from over here at the amp up through, so a very small spot up here, and up to the door. So there's a hinge right here, and the factory wiring to that door runs there. We ran it right with it, right through the factory hole, directly in the door. Very nice, clean install.
And it also needs to have some slack because when the door comes up, obviously it picks up that slack.
Right. So again, we just followed exactly with the factory wiring, so we know we have the right amount, the right curves, everything like that.
Yeah.
Goes right with it. Looks really nice, and you don't see any wires running new wire into the door instead of using the factory wire.
This is not mounted yet. This is just kind of set in place so we can see if everything's working as it should, because I don't know where I'm gonna mount it. I think I'm probably gonna mount it right here, but I do need to reupholster all of this. There's gonna be a lot of changes going to this car, so I'm not really putting everything in its place 100%. We're just doing a test fit, and hopefully everything works out. But let's take a look at the box that you made.
So we don't have door panels in here yet, but we do have the door speakers connected, so we can make sure everything is good. Millionaire doors engage.
Doors go up, dude. That's that's awesome.
Not all Lamborghinis do that.
No.
It makes them Lamborghini doors. Not Lamborghini doors. Lamborghini doors. I just saw it before. Got a little bit of a hiccup with one spot. We had to do some fiberglass in. Got all that form fitted. Did a trim panel on top of that so everything fits nice. Flush the sub in using a rabbit bit, as it's called on the router.
Yeah.
So that will take where we can trace the inside line, make a nice smooth cut outside. Flush the sub right in. Now we don't have the gasket on the sub because we wanted to sit it all the way in there, and we're gonna put a grill on top of that.
Yeah.
And that way we can maximize the amount of lack of possibility to hit the seat.
Yeah.
Get it right in there, but we will have a foam seal on that so it won't leak. That is the purpose of that gasket, so it won't leak.
I'm gonna connect a battery charger to it just in case, because this is a brand new battery, but we're not actually starting the car so it can charge. Actually, before we do that, this is the battery cutoff switch. So all I have to do is turn this to the right and the car should technically turn on. Should I do it?
You should do it.
I'm doing it.
Did it.
Okay, nothing blew up. Hey, look at that. Radio turned on, okay. So I'm gonna connect my charger. Just put the ground right there. All right, so charger is on. Charger is on. And let's see what we got here. I'm gonna put it to the on position. Hopefully everything turns on as intended. All right, that is a lot of lights. Boom! Take a look at that. So This is, I don't even know what model this is, but I will link it below. Oh, it's a UTE 73BT. And this thing is beeping at me something fierce, probably because I have all my doors open and stuff is disconnected. So we press source and hopefully we should get some sound. Tuner. Oh, we got static! That is a good sound. Really, really good sound. And we have those speakers with the carbon fiber cones. They're obviously going to sound a little bit different with the door panels in place because the door panels act as an insulator and
the reverse wave will be isolated from the front wave, so it'll sound much better, and we'll actually have a lot more mid-bass because it'll act more like an enclosure in the door rather than just freely mounted.
Well, I was going to say the exact same thing, but I'm glad you said it as well. These are mounted, and I really like the look of these. I like the branding, I like the EMF logo right here, and I love the fact that it's carbon fiber like everything else in this car except for the frame. So, we are going to pair this to my phone and see how well everything works, not only the speakers, but that sub as well. Okay, my phone is connected. Let's see if this works. Let's press play. All right. Ah, shut up. Oh, this sounds great. I can't wait to hear what this sounds like with door panels. How's it going, guys? My name is Tavarish, and today... Woo! Whew, that sounded amazing. I want to know what this thing sounds like when I'm outside the car. So we're just gonna do one of these. And let's just put the volume on. Let's just put on 30. Let's not go too crazy. Let's go a little crazy. And let's hit play. This is insane. This is great. There's 3 speakers in this car. Dude, this is insane. It's literally like there's a concert like right there. I have to scream to oh my god. Guys, I don't know if you can tell, but I have goosebumps right now. It sounds so amazing. I know the microphone on the camera doesn't do anything justice. It probably sounds like a bunch of like but I swear this sounds ridiculous. This guy is the MVP. This guy knows what he's talking about. This guy has amazing speakers. Those door speakers, freaking amazing. They're really, really good.
That's what I made them for.
Yes, they're very good. Yeah, you should make more of them.
I have lots of them on my website, emfcaraudio.com.
You guys should go there because the link is going to be in the description below for that.
The full line of Sundown Audio on the website. Everything from excess power. I have it. If you don't see it on the website, ask. I can get it and ship it right out to you.
I am going to calm down a little bit because I am extremely excited. It is midnight, and I now have a car that sounds amazing. This is the best sounding car I've ever had, and it's not even on. I mean, we'll deal with the exhaust at some point. But as far as audio, this is like on point, and we haven't even like dialed it in. This is just like out of the box with some crappy head unit. Like this is insane.
Did a couple quick little settings, that's it. We'll play with it more after we can listen to it, get door panels on, get it really dialed in. So if you see it at a car show, you can listen to it at its best.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. But yeah, check this guy out. He also has a YouTube channel. He does stuff with cars, and he has a Tech Stuff Tuesday, and definitely subscribe to him. All the stuff will be in the link in the description below. But until next time, this is me reminding you that on cars like this, that still need a lot of work, but now they have amazing audio systems, and I cannot stress this enough, it really is amazing. You guys need to wrench every day.